Alright guys, let's get into this video that we're going to do here tonight. This is not necessarily a secret, but it's more so it is what it is type of thing, you know what I mean? But this is, I'm going to call it the biggest secret that I have learned about women. And like I said, it's not necessarily a secret. It is what it is type of thing. But and it's not like I just learned this. This is just a video with information that I knew for the longest time, at least since my early 20s. I'm in my mid 20s now, so it's better to learn this as early as possible. I will say that. Whenever it comes to females, whenever it comes to us males, every single one of us want the ideal relationship partner with a female. It's just, it is what it is. And it doesn't happen that easily. And sometimes it doesn't happen that easily for your best interest. Whenever it comes to women, right, you don't choose them. You can approach them. You can start a conversation with one. But she has to want you. You can secretly want her. You can want her, but you can't like go for her if she does not want you. You don't pick her. You don't say, I want a relationship. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get her. You can't have that type of mindset unless it happens so naturally, which it doesn't happen like that too often. It can, and it does happen, but not too often. That's why you cannot think this way. You have to focus on yourself and your own life and become valuable yourself. You have to become the prize yourself. You have to create a life for yourself. You have to create a life that she wants to come into by yourself. And like I said, you might get a girl that's gonna be there with you before you make any of this stuff happen, which it does happen, but not all the time. And in these cases where it doesn't happen all the time, you have to focus on yourself and your life. You can't focus on wanting a girlfriend. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, don't put any extra time or thought into it. And that's basically all I'm saying. Like, you have to see yourself as the prize. You are the prize. You have to put in the work. You have to do what you got to do. And she chooses you. You don't choose her, bro. You don't choose her. She chooses you. She's going to your life. You're not going into her life. You're not taking whatever you have and coming into her life. She is coming into yours. She has to pick you. And like I said, you can reach out to a girl. You can start talking to a girl first. But eventually you have to turn the tables and she has to be the one that's pretty much like coming to you. You have to make it, and you can reach out to her first. Maybe she doesn't want to do it, but she low-key wants to talk to you. You have to be talking to her first in this case. But she has to want to come into your life. You can't just see a woman as the prize. She has to see you this way. This is a lot of the things that I have learned, not just now, for a long time. And it's honestly the way that it is. If you think about it, like, men are the providers, the protectors. Women are the nurturers. They take care of the stuff around home. They do all these things. We have to build the solid foundation. And in today's world that we're living in, you might not be able to build a solid foundation if you don't have a solid woman in your life. You could have a girl that has no idea what she's doing, no idea what she's talking about, insecure. She has all these issues. That's only going to slow you down. She's using you because she couldn't get what she wanted. Or she couldn't get what she needed whenever she was a younger girl. There's lots of girls like this. They missed out on so much male attention when they were younger that it is what it is. That's what they do. I'm not putting any shame on them. It is what it is. And you as a man, you can't be dealing with something like that if you want to build something for yourself and build a solid life and not mess up. These are things I wish I would have been told whenever I was a little bit younger, because I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of years on girls that completely took advantage of me and just left me feeling stupid and pissed off. Because I invested years and years and years into these individuals and helped them and built them up and was there for them, for all of a sudden for them just to leave and then to want to come back. But it doesn't work like that. You can't do something like that to me and then try to come back. Give your head a shake. And that's why, like, I'm going to teach my kids, if I have them, which I think almost positively it's going to happen, but I'm going to teach them the right ways of life, both male and female, whichever gender I have, or both. They're both going to be taught the right way. And there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't taught, and if you don't know the rules, if you don't know the tricks, you can get walked all over in this life, and it can lead to a lot of frustrations and anger and just like things like that. It's good that I'm naturally a smart, intelligent guy, because I channeled all this negativity, because that's what it was in my life. It was nothing but negativity. I channeled all of that and put myself to work and did the right things. I didn't get bitter over it, maybe a little bit in the beginning, but it's like I don't stay bitter. I take all that and I use it to my advantage, and I build a good life. I build a solid foundation for myself and do the things I need to do. That's why you have to be the best man that you can be before any woman comes into your life. Like I said, unless you strike gold and you get the right one at a very young age, which it can happen. I even feel I had a couple like that, but things just didn't end up working out, and that's how life goes. Sometimes it doesn't. That's why I say, if you get that at a young age, it's like striking gold, because it doesn't happen too often. And for that to carry on throughout your life, and for it to be a stable relationship, and then marriage, and then kids, and you have a happily ever after, things like that don't happen too often. And I'm talking about like from a young age and having success with it all the way through. It doesn't happen too often. Even most marriages and stuff like that, it comes from people meeting in their 20s and stuff like that, even in their 30s. But you usually don't see young kids, let's say 17, 18, 19, maybe even 20, but not too much past that. You don't see young kids like that too often getting together and staying together throughout life. Does it happen? It does, but it takes a little bit of luck. That's why I'm saying, don't focus on all these girls that are just looking for attention, that are doing all those crazy things. You have to know the difference, and you have to be the prize. And you have to wait until that right woman does come into your life. And like I said, you can approach her, you can set the tone, but she has to eventually want to come into your life, and she's eventually wanting to come to you, and you are no longer really approaching anymore. It's not like you're just like not putting in any effort or not doing anything, but she's more so gravitating towards you because she sees who you are. And it's not your job to just continue to do something like that. It's your job to continue to focus on your life. She comes to you, you work together as a team, and you live happily ever after. And that's how, honestly, things should work. That's why you don't choose women. You could see a girl that you want. It doesn't mean you're going to get her. It doesn't mean anything. She has to want you equally as much, or if not more, for something to work. And that is why you should never choose a woman. You should choose a woman, and you should pick a woman that honestly wants you and nobody else besides you, because that's somebody is going to last with. And some girls can let on like it's like that, but you have to know the difference. You have to know if she's lying, if she's manipulating, if she's doing other things behind the scenes. All these things play a factor. You just have to know who you're dealing with. You have to know what's actually going on in the situation that you're getting yourself in, or else it's going to lead to anger, high frustrations, red pill rage, and all these other things. And it does happen, guys. Getting screwed over is no joke. It sucks a lot, especially when you feel that you are much better and superior than this person that just did this to you. Like in my case, I always felt like there was some dumbass that might have did something, and I'm like, you're going to be sorry for this and you're going to pay for this. Guaranteed 100%, and every single time I was right, because they did. Because guess who tries to come back? Guess who tries to weasel their way back as if nothing not even happened? All these weasels. Exactly. So it's things like that that piss you off. It does hurt your ego. We cannot lie about it. It does. Because it's like, who are you to do that to me? And it does. There's no way around it. It does strike a nerve in your ego. It really does. Everybody has an ego to a certain extent. And to just be disrespected, humiliated, embarrassed like that, it's just, stuff like that does not sit well with me. I get mad short term, and then I carry on. I understand what happened, and I carry on. And that's that. But what I'm saying, guys, in this video is to really focus on yourself to avoid things like this happening. When you focus on yourself, you avoid things like this happening. When you're more focused on a girl that you want, there's much more of a chance of something like this happening, because I was that younger guy that was like, I don't want all these beautiful women around me and that are the same age as me get with somebody else. Like, I want one of these girls. I deserve one of these girls. Well, why should I not have one of these girls? Which I did. I ended up getting them, but it wasn't the right ones. It just wasn't the right ones, wasn't the right time. And that's what I get for wanting them. You just have to let life go. What's going to happen is going to happen. If you continue to focus on yourself, better things will happen. If you continue to focus on other people and trying to get something out of somebody else, worse things can happen, because you're not focused on what you can control. You're not focused on your life. You are focused on other people and wanting from other people. And like I said, it's not because I was needy or needed a relationship. It was more so, I don't want to miss out on what's in front of me right now. But that can still affect you. That's why, like I said, focus on yourself, become a prize yourself, do things yourself, and everything's going to work out the way it's going to be. And I think there's a lot of females that can even agree on this video and to even see things the way I'm seeing things towards males. But as much as you don't want to hear it, I honestly don't think that's the right approach. And I know you girls don't want to get walked all over and stuff like this, used, abused, whatever you want to say. But no real man wants a controlling type of woman and stuff like this. And I know I can say it better than that. I'm just thinking of the words right now that I can really put out there. Because, like, I believe rappers, like female rappers like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, all these people like this, which they have good music. There's no doubt about it. But the way that they're trying to convince girls how to be, it's just, they're almost convincing girls to be masculine and be these bad bitches themselves, which it's not good for anybody, and it's making, honestly, more women more unhappy and more miserable in today's society than ever. And the stats show this, because women have to start behaving like women and men have to start behaving like men. That's all there needs to be said. That's what has to happen. Women are not men and men are not women. I believe the women that are trying to act like men and that are trying to take the role as a man are attracting males that are more feminine, that are not more like who they should be. And it's a complete mix-up. These things happen. These things exist. This is very real. And that's why I'm saying every male has to know you have to focus on yourself. Every female has to know you also have to focus on yourself and be a real woman. Do what a woman does, not what a man does. And all these girls are looking to be independent today, which it's not a bad thing, but it's just, it's more masculine. And what can you do, right? If things don't work out for you, what else can you do? There's nothing else you can do. Every woman has to fend for herself, obviously, and make a life for herself. There's nothing wrong with being independent. And I honestly believe it's not a bad idea to do that, but in the end, every woman needs a man and every man needs a woman. And it's how it should be, is all I'm saying here. And there's just too much going on in today's world. And all the talk about how many women are single, lonely, and miserable in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, and stuff like this. And I do believe it's true. And I believe it's happening because there's a lot of women trying to behave like men. And I'm not saying all do. And I'm not saying every independent woman does. Because they do have tough luck sometimes, and they do end up alone at the time being, and they have to recreate a life for themselves and maybe even their kid or kids and stuff like this. But you guys, you just get what I'm saying. You just get what I'm saying. It's touchy stuff to talk about, but it has to be talked about. It's the truth. And I just believe if everybody played their role as their gender, as who they really are, there's going to be a lot less of these problems. Men have to be men. Women have to be women. When there's messed up women, it can mess up men. Whenever there's messed up men, it can mess up women. It can cause everybody to just go round and round in circles and just, it's a big old mess. Because if you get a good man and he's with a woman, but she's messed up, she can emotionally affect this man to make him not be like himself, to not feel like himself. Vice versa. There could be a woman that is perfectly fine, and she could be dating some man, so-called man, that could come into her life and mess her up. And now she's a fraction of what she just was. These things happen. And it's all because people are not careful enough. People are searching for something that is just not there. It's not what they thought it was. That's why you have to be careful. You really have to know what you're getting yourself into in today's society. That's why, like I said, Focus on being a man. Focus on being a woman for both genders. These things are going to happen a lot less. And that's all I got to say in this video. Men are the prize. I'm not saying women aren't a prize. And men are not superior than women. And I honestly talked about this in a video before, and I didn't mean to necessarily word it like that, because men have their own traits that are stronger than women, but women also have traits that are stronger than men. It is equality. It truly is. And that's why both genders have to play their role, so things like this stop happening and the world will get better. But are these things going to stop happening? I don't know. There's a lot of information out there today about it, but I don't know. A lot of people don't want to look into it too much. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to cut this video off now. I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. Don't put any extra words into my mouth. What's said is said. What's said is the truth. Everybody got to do what they got to do. I got another video to do, so I'm going to get to the next one, and I'll be back.